It's 935 KDAY, Cece and Romeo. We are so excited. Listen, we have our family Xzibit in the studio with us, but we're about to have this amazing luncheon.
Yes, we are.
Meet, greet, and eat with Xzibit. But speaking of Xzibit, we have X to the Z in the building right now.
What up? What's up, guys?
Man.
All right, Cece, Romeo, thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure having you in the building, man. We've been doing this for a minute.
I know, right? We
But
here.
I'm just excited about this luncheon. We get to actually spend time with you today. This is amazing, and so does KDAY Nation. But speaking of KDAY Nation, Xzibit, let me just go into the interview saying this. Like, you've been doing it for this culture for a long time. So respectable. And now, we've got the Napalm flamethrower hot dog. You've got Napalm. You've got, you're dipping into the 420 culture.
Yeah.
So a lot of people know your name through acting and music, but then you've got new listeners and new fans. And I think that's awesome that you're able to pull in new fans. But that came up with, we were on live, and one of our listeners loves you, but said, see, ask him this question. I thought, this is pretty dope. How did he even get the name Xzibit?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, I can't even answer that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it started when I was a kid. I was looking for a rap name, and at the time, everybody was calling themselves MC something. You know what I'm saying? It was like everybody had an MC before their name. So I was trying to, my first rap name was ICE. Then I was like, oh man, Ice Cube, Ice T, Vanilla Ice. You know what I'm saying? There was a whole bunch of ices. I messed that. So then I started calling myself MCA. For Alvin, my first name.
Yes.
And then I was like, shit, it's a record company. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and he's part of the guys in the Beastie Boys. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so I was doing some freestyle stuff one day, and I said I was like on display, like a museum exhibit. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to use that. And so then it started with Exhibit A. And then when Ebonics came in, I just dropped the E and it kept the XZ, and then that's how I did it. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
crazy.
I did that
it
when
went
I was
from like MCA to IC, from ICE
it
to
was a
MC to
journey.
Xzibit. Yes, exactly.
And that was, that was kind of like how I did it. I did that when I was 13 years old.
Oh my God!
So I've been writing like as Xzibit since I was 13. But then when I got to California, met up with King T and Alcoholics, it kind of like solidified there. I was like, I made the choice. I started writing under that, learned how to write songs, learn how to write hooks, learn how to write, all these different things.
Yeah.
And so that's how I came to be.
Man, that is amazing. And, of course, you've been doing it, and you do it so well still, Xzibit, when you're on stage. So, this Verzuz thing, it got created through the whole pandemic, right? It was something special. It entertained us, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I've had some people hit me up saying, because, they're always saying, well, who could Busta Rhymes go up against it? And a lot of people say, yo, I would love to see him and Xzibit go head-to-head.
No, I'm not going up against Busta Rhymes. Are you kidding me?
You wouldn't entertain that?
No. Because as soon as he come up with the
but y'all,
like,
y'all X to the Z.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I ain't signing up for that one. You gotta bring. Hey, Busta Rhymes need like Metallica or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. What am I gonna do when he brings out Janet Jackson? Huh?
But see, that's the point.
What am I gonna do? Drake's not coming.
Well, I was just
you know what I'm saying?
Eminem
ain't coming.
You bring out Drake, it's shut it down.
Yeah, you would shut it down. All right, so
we'll
we
see.
know y'all homies, y'all got history. But if there was someone you would entertain, who would that possibly be for Verzuz?
I mean, I other than Busta Rhymes, I'm pretty much game. You know what I'm saying? For anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's
I don't
respect,
care.
Though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's my brother, but so like we from two different realms. I still consider myself an underground rapper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because of my content and the way I like to deliver. I don't, usually make radio songs, even though I've had songs that play on the radio. I still consider myself a battle MC. You know what I'm saying? And I want to make songs that are introspective and sometimes they rowdy and sometimes they for the coast. Yeah. But like other than that, you bring anybody, I'm with it.
But when that conversation came up, just to be clear, it's for the showmanship because the energy that y'all bring.
Right.
Because they know y'all brothers, so it ain't about like, yo, I got you.
Yeah, but I don't got a split star. So you know what I'm saying? I got
there you go. I'm ready for it. I'm gonna walk out like this. Don't even trip.
You're a rap.
No.
So we know that, speaking of Dr. Dre, you say who might bring out Dre. You and Dre are really good friends, and you guys, are in the studio constantly. Is there anything that you can tell us, like, that you've learned from Dre that you still practice to this day?
Oh, absolutely. There's I consider Dre my brother.
Okay.
And likewise. And, like, we talk deeply on things outside of music. And so some of the things that I've learned from Dre, I think off the top is your ego is not your amigo. If you could do things with your ego not invested, then everybody pulls their weight and magical things happen. The second thing that he taught me was that your outside studio activities have to be just as strong as your inside studio activities. So, if you're an asshole outside, and you overshadow your talent, then it's a wash. You can't benefit anyone, and nobody can benefit from you. So that's important. Also, man, just being a good person. Just realizing that we are blessed. We have a lot of things that happen around us and for us, and just try to be a stand-up person as you do it. Money changes everything, but it just enhances who you are. So just stay focused on who you are and make sure that doesn't deter you from your road and your trip and your journey. And that's pretty much what we learn.
Man, I love that.
I want to ask you, you just said that stay focused and stay grounded on and who you are and in what you are. How do you do that? Is it spending time with your family, or is it kind of alone time? Like, how does Xzibit stay grounded and kind of just block out the white noise?
I just think, man, for me, honestly, I never think too much of accomplishments. It doesn't make me better than anyone. You never know who you're talking to. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. A lot of people make the mistake of trying to belittle other people because of the position they're in at that moment. But I've seen some people, turn some things around. They start as an intern and end up running the whole show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, for example, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody starts somewhere.
Yes. I started off on overnights. You know what I'm saying? 12 midnight to 6 a.m. Come on
now. You guys got your own morning programs. Yeah. So I always look at it from that perspective. I give respect, where respect is due until proven otherwise.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how I do it. I always feel like there's more for me to do, and I never stop learning. So, that's kind of how I stay there, and I like humble people. That's how I carry myself.
And I think you do stay humble, because, Ron, we could be out and I see him, and one thing I do watch, and I pay attention. I don't say too much, but I pay attention to a lot that goes on, and I notice that you take pictures with everybody that wants to take pictures with you. But like, when I say everybody, you have not, like, since I've said no to one person. And you could be in a hurry, you could be in a rush to the next event or to your next appointment, and somebody stops and wants to take a photo, and you stop everything, you take a picture with them.
I mean, I'm usually good about it. People are, as long as I'm not like actually using the bathroom or eating, you know what I'm saying? But it's weird. People do come up to me in the men's bathroom like, yo,
stop it.
like, nigga, my dick is out.
Hold on, it's like, what we doing?
What we doing right now?
Like, nigga, my shit is out. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop trying to shake my hand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like so.
Wow.
So, but I mean, but usually I'm good with that, because again, you never know who you're talking to, and you only have one chance to make a first impression.
Yeah.
So usually I'm good when I'm out with my kids or something like that. Then I try to kind of, like make it their time, and know how. And usually people are good about it. But there's some people that don't understand and just think it's all about them. So, but I mean, it is what it is.
You get those people that are entitled.
Yeah.
Got a couple things I got to ask you, man. Let's go back to Dr. Dre.
Yep.
Obviously, y'all had history. Y'all got some studio. Y'all got some songs. How many songs y'all probably got sitting on that hasn't been released? Like, seriously, man, if you drop today, the impact would be crazy.
I mean, I don't know, man. Dre has a vault. You know, and it's in his cell phone. You know what I'm saying? He has records on records on records. So I have no idea how many songs exist like that. I don't know how many songs he has in the vault. I don't know how many songs I'm on. Yeah. Sometimes it's a drop. Sometimes it's a verse. Sometimes it's a piece. Sometimes it's just some writing. But, I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I have no idea how many songs he's got in that vault.
That has to be a lot of songs.
You never can take a copy of it when you leave.
Are you crazy? I don't want that. That's like walking around with a nuclear weapon. You know what I'm saying? Like, you let some
part of that.
Yo, that's Chernobyl. You let one of them slip out, it's done.
It's a wrap.
You know what I'm saying? It's a wrap.
But still, I guess if I was you, I'd kind of be like, hey, Dre, when you releasing that song?
Like, don't do that either. Don't do that either.
Don't do that too. Just go in there and lay your tracks.
Yeah.
So you've been in this game a long time, and we speak on that so much. And sometimes when you first get in the game, you start with an entourage. And then as we go along, our circle gets smaller, because that's just life. That is what it is, right? So excluding your family, if you went to your phone right now and had to call someone for emergency, who would pick up the phone right now for Xzibit?
Her.
Valerie.
My girl right there.
Boom.
Yeah, but I could just look over and Hey.
Yeah.
But that just tells you how things change, because I know cats back in the day, there was a certain homie they had to call, there was a manager, whatever. But as we grow older and the circle gets smaller, you know who you can
Who
count
you
on.
calling?
Oh, I'm calling wifey
That's
without
what I'm
it.
talking about. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody, we're at the age now where the homeboy thing is kind of like, it's like everybody has responsibilities, accountability, and families of their own. So, I try to limit those emergency calls.
There you go.
And for the most part, man, all my friends I've had for quite some time, and I'm glad to have as many as I do. And I just kind of keep it like that, man. I don't need to prove I'm tough. I don't need to be on the street. I'm not gonna be the old man in the nightclub. I refuse to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? Try to do the new new dances and shit, looking crazy.
You're like,
Come on, you don't do those TikTok dances?
Nah, man. Nah.
Come on, X.
Nah, you ain't gonna. No way.
It ain't happening.
It ain't gonna happen. So I'm really, really glad and good in the space I'm in, and I just feel like like things are moving forward for me. And as I expand these brands, as I expand into other things outside of entertainment, it makes me feel good to build businesses, give people opportunities, give people jobs. That's where it's at now, on top of what I'm doing in entertainment. I still got, I got one more album I'm going to put out, and now everybody says, oh, you're not going to do that. But I feel like this, as far as like putting out an album, a body of work like that, I'm gonna focus on doing this last album called Kingmaker, and then from there I'll still put out music, I'll still produce music, I'll do things as I feel them. But as far as like putting all my energy into an album release, this is gonna be my last one.
This is the last one?
Yeah.
Okay, so are you already thinking features? It's the last one.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're putting together the songs now. And we really are happy with what's coming right now. So the features are still being worked on, but the body of work, the landscape, the canvas that I'm making right now is amazing. So I can't wait for you guys to hear it.
That's gonna be awesome, and I can't wait for you to do more movies, because you're a really good actor.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
For reals.
Yeah.
That's like I'm like giving you a compliment. Like, you're pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here, thank you. I appreciate it. It took work. You know what I'm saying? It was not easy.
I did Chocolate City, and that was hard for me.
Yeah.
And I played a DJ, and I was like, they were like, see, how do you like acting? And I was like, I don't really like it. It's hard.
Exactly. It is. So, as things free up, like my view on entertainment is that, a lot of people get jaded from doing what we do, right? and that's simply because they're basing their survival and being dependent on the success of their career, right? And so what I've learned was to create different revenue streams so that when I do entertainment, it's no skin off my back. The stakes aren't that high. It's like I can make choices, I can turn things down, I can do things I'm interested in. And then, it becomes a different feel, a different approach to entertainment. You don't go home feeling like you just got prison raped. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
so I feel good about that, and I've been putting a lot of time into that. I feel like, for the last 20-some years, I've given a lot of myself to entertainment and given a lot of time to entertainment. And I've received a lot of love and a lot of, accolades back. But now it's to a point where I want to do entertainment because I want to do it, not because I have to do it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what I've been like putting my last few years in, and I'm almost, done.
And you know what,
I'm
X? That's
almost
when
done
you're going to
putting
enjoy it the
together.
most.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you're going to enjoy it the most.
Yeah, I'll be able to, get my fat ass back in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Get healthy. You know what I'm saying? And then I can approach filmmaking the way I want to, totally dedicated, totally focused. Work on my auditions and all the other things that I would need to do. But right now, I need to focus on building the brand of Xzibit.
Now, you spoke about, you did your music, you've done acting, but you're dipping into these other brands, and we're talking about Napalm, and we're also talking about the Napalm flamethrower hot dog that you are collabing with Dirt Dog at Dirt Dog LA. Make sure you guys follow them on social media. But how did that collab even happen? Like, who started that conversation?
Well, I mean, first of all, Napalm started out as one of my albums I put out in 2012. Then I started, doing cannabis about 10 years ago. So now, this is my second brand. And I thought, this is going to be something that I could transfer into or transition into a cannabis brand. I think Napalm is a dope name.
I love it.
And so as a cannabis brand, there's only so many places that we can advertise, safely for all the consumers, all the other people that, may not or may, enjoy Xzibit music or whatever. So I wanted to separate that from what we were doing. And so working with Dirt Dog is another example of how we can do that. Right, Napalm is no cannabis in the flamethrower. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, using the name and repurposing the name in order to show that we are rebranding outside of the cannabis industry. These are all smart things to do. Like that. For example, we're building food trucks. Right, for the Napalm brand, for another brand that I sit on the board for and do the marketing for. We're doing, not only just billboards, which is kind of like low-hanging fruit, but, we also are making drinks that can go into Kroger's, like different things, different things that take it outside of cannabis and make it a lifestyle brand instead of just, putting it out as a cannabis brand.
I'm glad that you're talking about all these brands. Did you also have a barbershop in the Valley back in the day?
Back in the day.
The homie Romeo used to cut my hair.
Yes.
So,
can you cut?
Hell no.
Yeah. What was it called? Yeah. What was that one called?
It was called Steady Cuts.
Yeah, Steady Cuts. I used to go get my hair cut there all the time when I was working at Power, right?
Yeah.
So, and speaking of that, has there been an investment that you may have passed up on that you wish you would have got your hands on too? Because you got your hands on a lot of things now. Is there something you had a chance to get in on early that you didn't take advantage of?
I mean, no, not really.
Okay, that's a good thing.
The only thing that I've been on the fence about is like this cryptocurrency thing, like Bitcoin. I feel like those are going to be one of the things that feel like that for me.
Yeah.
But if I spend $1 million on something, I got to be able to take a shit in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't. You can't hand me a zip drive and be like, if you lose the code on this, all your money's gone.
No.
That's like.
Well,
that's
then what do you
gambling.
feel about NFTs?
I see a lot of people going in about it. I see a lot of people talking about the value in them. I just don't know enough about it to feel like this is good for me.
Yeah.
So I'll let it go on a little bit more, and I think the only saving grace is if I protect my brand the way I am now, and then when it's time for me to step in and it's protected correctly, that'll still be there for me.
Your brand's very protected. Yes, I love that about you.
Yeah.
Very protected.
Yeah.
We protect our brand too, so I can definitely respect that.
Man.
Yeah.
And it's different because now you look at brands different now because of with social media when it comes to like having your own mountain to stand on, right?
Yes.
Not relying on a company.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you something real quick, man. Let's just talk about how hip hop has grown because when I first got in the radio back in my days at Power, you, E-Man, Big Boy would go to Japan back in the day. And I thought that was some of the crazy, like, they going over there?
Yeah.
Like, they know about it? That was over 15 years ago. How do you see hip hop has grown worldwide? Because you got a chance to see it abroad early.
Yeah, there's a lot of advantages that artists have now. It essentially, the middleman is out of the way. So now it's about how can you engage directly with your fans? How can you get them to understand what you're saying? How can you get them to feel like this is, a personal connection I have with them? And then, and how do you market to them? Because now it's like your personal life is somehow more important than your art. They won't even care about what you're dropping. They want to know who you're dating. They want to know what you're wearing.
Because they want to be, they're invested in you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct. So that's an advantage. And also it's a disadvantage because not everybody wants to be on all the time. You got to find that balance. You know what I'm saying? I see some people that overdo it. Like for me, I just do it when it's necessary, but I don't want everybody in everything I do, right?
Yes.
Because sometimes you have to have a place to go to kind of rejuvenate, and then come back out.
Yes.
Right? And so another thing is that it's very lucrative for them now. Streaming and I mean, like, it's easy to get a plaque because a lot of that stuff is being bought, back, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff is being bought, but
we know.
But at the same time, it's perception is reality, and they're playing that perfectly, right? And so I think there's some advantages that they have that we didn't have. We had people that we had to have, productive, what do you call them? product development, promotional stages, and all this money that was being spent on your behalf, and then now you're in a hole, and you got to like perform your way out of it. Some of us did, some of us didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
that's true.
It's just a different time, you know. And I think like coming from where we came from, you know, there's just more of it. And I think the disadvantage that they have is that the people's attention spans are very short.
Real quick.
They you know, people come out and, you know, like back in the day, you know, you have our legend. When West Coast stamps you, you're on forever.
Yep.
You know, you're transitioning through all the time. But now it's like people turn over very quickly. There's people that were super hot a year ago and now don't even talk about them.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think that's the disadvantage that they have to work through. So that their workload has to be a lot more than what we had to do. But again, you know, people are just like easy come, easy go with them. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they do, you know, 10, 15 years from now, where they're gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think like when they do that, and they all of a sudden are not relevant, they have to do something crazy outside the box to make themselves relevant again. Then you risking your life, maybe your family, your lifestyle.
And really your brand too, because at some point that you teeter with that, you can make it or break it.
How can I get someone's attention? Let me do something crazy. They forgot about me. Then what happens?
I don't want no parts of that.
Nope.
Me neither.
but really quick before you dip on out of here, because he has a ton of fans waiting for him right now for this lunch. Crush Groove, we have it Saturday, April 30th. I'm so excited. Ice Cube, T.I., Bone Thugs and Harmony, Pablo Glasses Malone.
DJ Quick, Sugar Free.
It goes on. I mean, you've been to a ton of our concerts. You've performed at a ton of our concerts. Let the KDAY Nation know, Crush Groove, man. Like, how dope is it when you guys all get together in a room?
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen. Well, I mean, I've been around the world, and there's nothing like West Coast hip hop. There's nothing like the way we support each other, the way we show up for each other, the way that everybody can like take a moment in time and remember where they were when they heard these songs that we make and what they represent to them. And I feel honored to be part of the West Coast, the whole alumni of artists that have come out from here, representing this coast, representing this culture, representing the people. And so, you know, KDAY, you know, has always been, you know, a forefront of that. You know, they were here before Power. You know what I'm saying? They were here before a lot of these things and a lot of these stations. And so they've taken it and made us hometown heroes. And so I support every time they call me to get down on the stage. I love walking out there because that's like performing in front of family.
Yeah.
So KDAY Nation, you know, show up for Crush Groove. It's going to be a great time. You know what I'm saying? Come see your best performers. Come see your favorite performers, and let's get down. I see you there.
Man.
I love it. And I love it when we go in the dressing rooms, because you guys all talk, and we just sit there.
You mean smoke?
Okay, yeah. They be smoking.
Talk/smoke.
Yeah, exactly. But they all be catching up with each other, and it's just awesome to see you guys like bring up different memories, and you guys are like, oh, it's cool.
So dope.
It's cool, yeah.
Yeah, and Warren G got his speakers out his doors, just banging the hallways. It's like,
Warren G is always playing the oldies. He loves the oldies.
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
right before he goes on stage, you know?
Again, man, we say it over and over. Congratulations,
Yes.
man. Just you being you is all that need to be done, man.
Thank you.
We
appreciate
salute you,
it.
X.
Thank
You
you.
are definitely an icon in hip hop, especially West Coast.
Thank you. I appreciate it.